Well, good morning TI community from the UK. Right, the corrupted police, abusing an authority, psychological warfare enabled covert operators still here desperate, thinking they can carry on doing some brainwashing psyops on my membrane. And I don't believe none of it. I want a full-scale investigation from UK police force to investigate the conduct of the Coventry police, the Coventry CID, the undercovers, the NHS, Coventry University Hospital, and the Sons of Doctor Psychiatrists, and the Department of Mental Health Administrators, Health Care and Public Health Abusers. They all collaborate together, and they've hotwired set up this flat with all kinds of studs, all kinds of apparatus, paraphernalia linked to clinical close-up research, and that's how the beam is damaged in the attic, because whatever they've got embedded underneath my bedroom ceiling, living room ceiling, kitchen ceiling, bathroom ceiling is that heavy it's warped the ceilings, while my detectors have picked up metal studs, yeah, all around this flat, this apartment. So the cut leaders in serious trouble, and I want them all struck off and all imprisoned. The police officers, undercovers, yeah, carrying out CIA, FBI experiments linked to Dr. Ian Cameron, heterodyning, brain hemorrhaging, and trying to get targets mentally disturbed. It's not working on me, but if they're doing it to pensioners, yeah, that's how they get pensioners out of care homes, and I want them all hauled in by UK government in serious crimes against humanity, against my family, and I want an investigation to where my brother is, or where they've took him to, or what they've done with him. And I ain't having none of their bullshit psychological warfare brainwashing activity linked to the CIA, FBI, human behavioural modification programming. The senior leader, four-eyed, goggled, broken down, humiliated sex case of a broken old codger who's training all the juniors in Coventry Healthcare, training Tony Chapman, Ryan Lewis, and the broken healthcare workers, NHS people, social workers, and anyone else who's got to watch his streams that is beaming to him, wherever he's sitting now, whether he's had a day off and someone else is taking over for the daily shift. Yeah, I want every single person investigating Coventry who works for the government, who works for the NHS, who works for neuroscience, neurology, who works for the biological department and works for the public health, NHS, mental health sectors, a team of them who think they can get away with clinical close-up research of human anatomy, of eyes, aureology, of genitals, urology, or genealogy on my mother, and anything else linked to human everyday behavioural science, sociology, whatever you want to call it. They're in serious trouble because it's illegal research, illegal study. None of us have consented to it in my family, and I want the book thrown at them for every photograph, every video, every sound recording they have made, edited illegally, tampered with, yeah, and edited desperately, thinking they can stitch me up into healthcare, yeah, and think the mental health administrators, Dr. Holmes, Dr. Pretorius, the Ralph Benitez, Paul McKenna, the Caucasian girl, whoever's in charge of the department, who think the mental health administrators, who want them all struck off. We can't do it every day, yeah, and we're not going to have them capturing people's stomachs, catching people's body rumbles, even though they've induced it with radiation. We're not having them outlining my arms, or my legs, or my stomach, or my body ever again. And we're not going to have none of the aureology trickery where they edit aureology and think they can stitch people up in workplaces they've put underneath bright lights. And we're not going to have a bunch of broken covert operators doing noise harassment, hoping for a target to get agitated by it. Yeah, it's all over for the covert team leader. He's going to prison. Every single sector worker that's underneath him is going to prison. Every police officer under the DCIs are going to prison, going to be struck off for it. That's how broken the covert team leader is, and whoever's in charge of a surveillance monitoring campaign, whoever's in charge of a clinical close-up research, hidden case studies, workplace trials, comparisons, and think they can watch people every day 24 hours a day. And I think they can carry on day after day, week after week, month after month, while we've done cybercrime, stealing more football information to give to the local families, listed police informers, and local community and workplace implanted overt plastic wannabes. The bus won't be able to use anything from buses, will not be able to use anything from CV1 in the city centre, won't be able to use anything from works organisations, CCTV, and any manager, supervisor, works organisation that's participated with the broken Coventry Police Force, the broken NHS, broken social services, healthcare and mental health administrators. All these managers, supervisors and workers underneath them have to be investigated for fraudulent statements, fabricated statements and compulsive lying witness makers. And whoever has passed on any research to Warwick University, to Coventry University, to anyone linked to NHS England, anyone linked to worldwide medical, urology, aureology, sociology researchers, it's all come from Coventry. They all have to be hauled in for investigation, all struck off and thrown in prison for inhumane crimes against my family. That includes all the Eastern Europeans, all over Europe and all over the rest of the world. The network has to be found, and the want people imprisoned is in charge of the research, the study, the comparison trials, and think they can write papers and documents and dossiers on me and my family members, my mother and my brother. And anyone linked to police training school, Shirley Police Training School, who's been training us Overt and Covert operators, they have to be struck off. And any neighbour around here who's been manipulated by them, suggest you report them for criminal practicing every day. They're not allowed to. It's a big training exercise. And the person in charge thinks it's a laugh to watch people in their homes, to watch people's bodies, the way he's been perving on them. Sex cases. So all the facial expressions, all the aureology, all the sound recordings, and all the videos they've done, they're obsolete. They've tampered with them, and they'll never be used in a court of law due to how long it's gone on for. They've overspent it all, so it all has to be thrown in the bin. And because of wasted taxpayers' money, UK government's money, police money, NHS money, Coventry Council money in the social services sector, they have to be struck off. So the metal detectors. There's at the top, hidden device detector. It means they've got equipment in my block of flats in the underneath attic floor, and I want Citizens Housing Association. You won't be getting me out of this flat without that ceiling getting investigated and finding the equipment your contractors put in here or the police put in here, and whichever manager let him in into this flat before I moved in has to be arrested, and until the name who the contractors are, or whether the police officers, and whether anyone linked to Coventry Healthcare, Public Health, NHS, and the Swanswell Centre Doctors Association, twisted psychiatrists who are labelled as Ewan Cameron. Training in neuroscience perpetrators carry on his experiments linked to the Brain Initiative Quest, linked to brain computer interfacing, and linked to mapping out people's brains and trying to destroy people's minds via noise harassment, V2K, that's what they call it, remote initial monitoring, neurologistic programming. It's all skullduggery linked to psychiatry, psychology and psychoanalysis. So everybody digest it all, psychoanalyse it all, and Coventry people, let's throw the book at these Coventry police officers, the Coventry CID, and the Swansea and doctor psychiatrists who are in charge of the mental health administrators. Over and out.